Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of Lou's Boomer Humor. Today we're going to do something a little bit different than we've done before. In the past we've kind of looked back at the past and do you remember? We're going to kind of look at boomers today and compare them to millennials, okay? And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But I want to, oh, by the way, check this out. I got blue cards now, you know, just like they got on like the Tonight Show, Letterman, and I don't know, Sesame Street, whatever. But anyway, a couple of things before we get into that. You know, last week we had a contest, and in that contest, okay, a number of people wrote in their you know, their addresses and so forth to me, so I got a number of those. And the reason I put this back up here is I had sent out, I'm going to try to keep these right here if I will, I had sent out a number of these stickers. So, by the way, the answers to the questions, first one was Boris and Natasha. The second one was 57 Chevy Bel Air, and the third one, James Dean. He died in 1955. Now, you know what? Even though I had a lot of people write in, and I've sent a number of these out, I still got a lot of these stickers left. Please, send me your address. I'm not going to do anything with it. Believe me, I'm not going to mess with it or anything like that, send you crap or anything like that. You know, you can send it to loumacaluso@gmail.com. loumacalusoauthor.com. You can go to my my website and go to the contact page, or some of you sent through Facebook through a message, okay, whatever. So do that, you know, and I won't mess with it, and I'll send you these free things. You can put them up all over the place. Okay, I'm not going to go too much deep, too more things with regard to that. Let's get on to what we were talking about here. Millennials versus, or yeah, millennials habits and boomer habits, and it's kind of millennials versus boomers. I actually got this idea going on the internet. There was an article in August of 2015 in Parade magazine, and they took 4 habits of millennials and 4 habits of boomers and looked at both of them and kind of compared them. And I had a few questions about some. See if you get, see if you have some like this. For example, with regard to, we'll start with millennials. What they said was, hope we can get this. Okay, millennials are in no hurry. Okay, basically what they're saying here is they're saying because of the tough job market and the greater economic pressure from their boomer parents, they're taking longer to find themselves, okay? In their 20s more so than in their teens. You know, and I kind of take exception to that because I look back and I think, you know, man, I didn't find myself until I was, hell, 40. No, but probably, you know, you don't start, you know, right away in your 20s. They also said, though, that almost 70% of millennials have never been married. All right. Which is saying that, you know, just because they're in their 30s or whatever, you know, they're not married. I don't think that's a big deal necessarily. But anyway, they think that's a characteristic of them. And it is different from boomers, but I don't think it's that important. Here's one that I do think that's kind of cool, or kind of different. They want more than just money, okay? More than 60% of millennials say that they'd rather earn $40,000 per year at a job they love than $100,000 at one that they hate. Now, I get that, but I think that's, again, a product of age rather than just millennials. I mean, again, I kind of thought that way, didn't you? I mean, you know, some of us wanted to make money right away. I mean, and I get that too. But we had that idealistic thing going on too. All right. Anyway, that was the second one. The third one. Oh no, that isn't it. That's the other side. Okay. The third one was they are free thinkers. Okay. Half of millennials identify themselves as, I want to say it right, as politically independent, okay? They're not Republicans, Democrats, you know, all the other things and so forth they say. And I think, you know, when you think about it, that had something to do with the election. I don't like to get political in boomer humor or anything, but it had something to do with the reason why there was a low turnout with them, particularly. 3 in 10 are unaffiliated. Is that right? 3 in 10 are unaffiliated with any organized religion. Okay, so I don't know if that's big or not. That means 70% of them are. I don't think that's that surprising, actually. All right, this one, millennials are not gonna like. Okay, so just hang on to your seats and don't send me. You know, I said send me emails and stuff, but you know, don't send me nasty crap. Okay, but this is true. This is what came out of it, or this is what they say came out of it. Sorry. Millennials are falling behind, okay? Millennials rank below their global peers in both math and literacy, and in a key 21st century skill, problem solving. Now, you know, I take a little bit of offense to this because I taught for 33 years. A lot of my students were millennials, I guess. So, I don't know. Maybe it's some of my fault. I thought I was a good teacher and what have you, but who knows, you know. It goes back to that Paul Simon thing. Sometimes I sing to myself, when I think back on all that crap I taught in high school. I don't know. I hope not. Okay, let's move on to boomers. Okay. This is interesting because that's my group. Okay. Boomers, one of the big things, take a look at this. Boomers, for the most part, say no to tattoos. Okay? Now, you know, if you look at this picture, it kind of tells it all, okay? This lady over here is definitely a boomer, and you be the judge. Do you think she's looks any better with a bunch of tattoos all over her? I don't think so. And I'm not saying that boomers don't have tattoos. A lot of boomers I know have tattoos, all right? But usually they're like 1 or 2 or here or there, you know, and something like that. Whereas my counterparts, millennials and so forth, well, here's what they say about that. Only 15% of boomers admit to having a tattoo, as compared to 40% of millennials and 30% of Generation Xers. Those are the ones born between 1965 and 1980 do. Now, I know some millennials who have them that look absolutely ridiculous. But the reason I put this guy over here is it proves my point of something. I don't know that tattoos have that much to do with age as to do with stupidity. I'm not talking about just having a tattoo. I'm talking about total tattoos. Now, you look at these documentaries of guys in prison, and one of the big things they have is all these friggin' tattoos, all right? Now, I don't know about you, but I would think that if I'm going to go into a life of crime, all right? I mean, look at this guy here. If he was, you know, in America's Most Wanted, okay, 6 foot tall, blondish brown hair, medium build, bluish gray eyes. Oh yeah, one other thing, okay? Yeah, take a look at that. I don't think you'd have any trouble picking this dude up. Okay, anyway, here's another one here that I kind of take exception to. It says they love working. They love working. Now, yeah, now the statistic says this. They nearly 2/3 of boomers ages 50 to 61 expect to delay retirement, and they're sticking to the grind because they want to. But look at this. Now, this particular example here is 2 guys working where? At Walmart. Okay? Now, think about it. Walmart doesn't pay that much. They don't like to give 40 hours because they don't give, you know, benefits that easily. So these 2 guys are boomers, but they're probably on a pension, probably got Medicare, so they can afford to have a good time and, you know, screw up at Walmart, all right? The others may be working until beyond their retirement age because they have to. You know, it costs them a lot for kids to go to college in that. So anyway, that's one aspect too. Okay, the other thing is boomers are in a forever young stage. Okay, now this is kind of like a two-part thing here. It says they're expected to live longer than any previous generation, and they say that old age may now actually begin at 74. Well, you know, I mean, I'm 65, all right? So you're going to call me middle-aged, you know? I mean, how many people you know are 130, you know what I'm saying? But I guess that's good news for boomers, bad news for, you know, people looking for retirement or, you know, for employers and that, because they got to keep paying and so forth. But I don't know, I guess that's a good thing. Okay, last thing about boomers here. Okay, this is going to surprise you, kind of surprised me. Boomers are tech savvy, okay? Nearly as many boomers own smartphones as younger generation, and they're far more likely to have home computers. 85% are into texting and sending an average of 80 messages a month. 5 times likelier than any other generation to have a digital tablet. All right, this is kind of funny because, you know, I'm into some technology, but only because I have to be. You know, I kid around the joke that I went to, you know, an Amish university to get my technology degree, but, you know, because I don't know that much about it. But, you know, this kind of surprised me, and it shows hope too. Okay, we're going to close out here, and let's close out. And speaking of tech savvy, let me show you again here if I can grab this real quick. Okay. Again, send me your ideas for topics. Send me just your postal address so I can send you a sticker. You know, one of these stickers here. Okay, they're really kind of cool, and you don't have to stick them on your car. I went over that before. But let's try to build this thing and try to share. You know, if you think this is worth sharing, I think it is, you know, with some of your friends and so forth. And maybe, again, you know, we can get kind of a cult following, you know, with, well, I don't want to call it cult. I'm a crappy cult leader, you know. I don't even have a criminal record. Well, except for that thing in the 60s. Well, never mind. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you next time. Keep them cards and letters coming, and let's get some ideas here. Okay? See you next time.